Hey guys, time for arithmetic. I want you to sing along to the Go Noodle video, skip count to 100, and then come back and watch this video. Yesterday, we talked about rounded numbers. Rounded numbers always have a 0 in the ones place. So, for example, 10 has a 0 in the ones place. It is rounded. 30 has a 0 in the ones place. It is rounded. 60 has a 0 in the ones place. It is also rounded. Whenever there is a 0 in the ones place, it's a rounded number. So now I'm going to teach you how we get rounded numbers. Why we're talking about rounded numbers. It's kind of a weird thing that a number would be round because we think of circles as being round. So we're going to talk about how to round a number. When we do rounding, the purpose of rounding is to make an estimate close to that number. So a good guess of a number close to it without having to look at the details of exactly what number it is. So we're going to start with the number 34. 34 is not a rounded number, but I drew a number line right here for you. Between 30 and 40. It's not all the way up from 0 to 40. It's just between 30 and 40. But a number line goes all the way for all the numbers. I'm just showing you between 30 and 40 right here because I don't have enough room to write everything. So 34, we're going to find that on the number line. 34 is right here. When we talk about rounded numbers, we want to know what rounded number this number is closest to. So remember, rounded numbers have 0 in the ones place. So we're looking at either 30, 30 or 40. Is 34 closer to 30 or closer to 40? Now looking at it, you might be able to make a good guess that which one 34 is closest to, but we could also count. So we're going to count and jump backwards and then forwards and see which one is closer. So starting on 34, going to 30, let's see how many jumps it takes. 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps to get to 30. And let's see how many it takes to get to 40. Starting on 34, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it took a lot longer to get to 40. So that means 34 is closer to 30 than it is to 40. So 34 is going to round down to the number 30. So if I had baked 34 cookies, I could say that I baked about 30. I have a few more, but it's closest to 30. I wouldn't tell someone I baked 40 cookies because I didn't bake that many. It's not as close to 40 as it is to 30. Now let's look at the number 37. And we're going to do the same thing. We want to see if 37 is closer to 30 or 40. So 37 is right here. We're going to do the same thing, count our jumps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or to 40, it's 1, 2, 3. So it's way shorter to go to 40. So 37 would actually round to 40. So if I made 37 cookies and I said I made about 40, I would be pretty close. It'd be a much closer guess than saying 34 cookies and rounding that to 40. So the one that's tricky is when we get to the middle, 35. 35, actually I'll do it in purple. 35, if we count it, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to 30. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to 40. It's exactly the same both ways. So our rule for the middle is always to go up. It's always going up. So 35 will always round to the next one higher, to 40. So the key here is to look at the ones place. Always, always, always look at the ones place. What you're going to do to decide which way you're rounding, if you're just looking at the numbers and you don't have a number line with you, you start with the number in the ones place. right here. we want the number in the ones place to be a 0. We want it to be rounded. So we want to decide which way are we going to round it. Are we going to round it down to the 10 before it or up to the 10 after it? So the rule is if the ones place is 4 or less, you're going to round down. All of these are going to round down to 30. So even if it's a 0, it's already rounded. So if the ones place is a 4, a 3, a 2, or a 1, it's going to go down to the 10 before it. If the ones place is a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, a 9, it's going to go up to the next 10 on top of it. So 4 and below, round down. 5 and up, round up. This is why it's important that you are able to skip count and count by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, so that you're able to count by tens and find what 10 comes before that number, what 10 comes after that number, and figure out, okay, which one is it closest to? So let's take a look at another number that's not in this range. Let's say, I'm gonna do it in a different color. Let's say 72. 72. So remember, I want to look at the ones place first. The ones place is a 2. I want to make it a 0. 2. 2 fits in the first rule. 4 and below, round down. So 2, so I'm going to round down, which the closest would be 70. So I would round 72. It would become 70. Now, if I had a different number, if I was gonna do, I'll do one, oops, dropped my marker. Let's do, I'm gonna erase this so I have room. 56. 56, I look at the ones place, it's a 6, so that means I'm gonna go up, 5 and up, 6 is more than 5, 5 and up, round up. I'm gonna round up to the next number. So what comes after 56? 50, the next 10 is 60. So this is gonna be rounded to 60. It can be a little tricky at the beginning and then you'll kind of get used to it. But the main thing you need to remember is look at the ones place. 4 and below, you round down. 5 and up, round up. If you need to use a number line, I can find one for you. You can let me know. And if you have any other questions about how to round, just let me know. I'll help you out. But if you take a look at your worksheet, page 279 to 280, we're going to start on the back because that's where the new topic always is. So looking at page 280, at the top, there's another reminder for you. It says rounding to the nearest 10. And they actually give you a good idea of it. They show you how it looks on a hill. So the numbers 11 to 19 are between 10 and 20. The numbers 11 to 14 are closer to 10 and round backwards to 10. They round down. The number 15 is in the middle, you round it up to 20, and the numbers 16 and 19 are closer to 20 and round up to 20. So, section 1, color the numbers pink, so you need a pink crayon or colored pencil, no markers, pink, that round to 30. What numbers would round down to 30? And then color the numbers blue that round up to 40. So all of these numbers are between 30 and 40. You're going to color the ones that round down to 30, you're going to color those pink, and the ones that round up to 40, you're going to color those blue. Then section 2 says, write the two tens each number is between. Circle the number it rounds to. So the two numbers, it would sit on a number line in between. I'll help you along with the first one. 27 is between what two tens? I will show you on my counting chart. Remember our counting chart. So 27 is right here. It's between 30 and 20. It's between these two. So you're going to write 20 on the first line, 30 on the second line. Then you're going to circle the number it would round to. So 27, is that closer to 20 or is it closer to 30? Well, if we look at the ones place, it's a 7. 7 is bigger than 5. 5 and up, you round up. So 27 is going to round up to 30. You're going to circle the 30. You're going to do the same thing for B and C. Then section 3 says mark the circle under the correct rounded number. So A and B, you're going to figure out what numbers those would round to, and you're going to fill in the circle for what that should round to. Section 4 is a story problem. Noah has a box of 16 colored pencils to use on the ride home. 7 pencils have sharp points. How many of Noah's pencils need to be sharpened? You need a problem and an answer and a label. So you need to write what you're talking about. It says how many of Noah's pencils need to be sharpened. So you're going to write your problem, your answer, blank, pencils. Pencils is what you're talking about. Then you're going to flip it over and do the front. On the front is all review. Section 1, write the between numbers by 5s. So you're going to count in between those two sets, 5 numbers. Count 5 numbers in between. So the first one would be 35 and 45. What would be 5 numbers in between? So 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 40 is your number you're going to write down. It fits in between those two numbers by 5. So you're going to do that for all of those. Section 2, write the addition and subtraction facts. Be careful when you do these cards. There are a lot of dots in them, so make sure you count them carefully. You do 2 addition and 2 subtraction, and it's all, you're using 3 numbers for the first card, and you shouldn't have any other numbers. And then 3 numbers for the second card, you shouldn't have any other numbers. If you have another number in there that is not from one of your first 2 problems, you're wrong. You can only use the same 3 numbers. You shouldn't have any extra numbers in there. Section 3 says write the sums and differences. Be careful as you go through this because you are borrowing and carrying in each kind of problem. So make sure you look at the sign and you're doing it the right way. You will be borrowing for addition, or borrowing for subtraction and carrying for addition. Section 4 says color the numbers that are rounded to the tens place green. Color the other numbers black. So if you need to round to if it's rounded to the tens place, if it's already rounded, you color it green. Color all of the other numbers black, and the blank squares you can leave blank. They don't need to be colored anything. Let me know if you have any questions. That's it for arithmetic, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.